I often encounter people online who make the claim that seamless spaceflight is impossible in Starfield due to its inferior design. I usually don't say anything, but I think to myself, Alana Pierce has already proved you can currently travel from one planet to another in Starfield, though currently it would definitely take a very long time. However, if you're on PC, there's currently a mod called Slower Than Light that allows seamless space travel from one planet to another, where the maximum speed is the equivalent of hundreds of times the speed of light. So obviously, manual travel from one planet to another is possible in Starfield, inferior design or not. Look, sometimes people get angry when these talking points are challenged, but it would be a failure on my part if I didn't tell my viewers that a particular thing is possible when so many others are saying it isn't. I'll place a demonstration of the mod at the end of this video, and I'll also place a timestamp in the comment section. I'm a huge fan of open world games and a huge fan of Fallout, particularly Fallout 3, which I've completed twice, and I'm working on a third playthrough. While Starfield has some obvious resemblances of both Fallout and Skyrim, for the most part, the games are designed totally different. One crucial design difference is the encounter design. The entire encounter design is completely different, especially in open world environments. In Starfield, while on mostly unpopulated planets, it's intentionally designed to be mostly barren. The only encounters you will have is when you approach areas of interest such as settlements, enemy base camps, or caves. Fallout is an Earth-based post-apocalyptic world loaded with human and non-human encounters, as well as a few friendly NPCs. While it may be possible to avoid dangerous situations, some of the creatures are very fast and aggressive, and they will chase you for a very long time around the map. It's pretty obvious that Bethesda did not intend for the player to be able to easily avoid the dangers of a post-apocalyptic environment. If I had to compare the two, I would say almost the entire game of Starfield may be similar to being in a secure area in Fallout because the game isn't designed for a player to encounter danger around every corner. There are areas where you may not encounter anything. Many players choose to build their main bases in these environments. Starfield is much slower and methodical in game design. Depending on what you're doing, you may not have an encounter at all. In Starfield, I once spent 2 hours on a base just doing research and crafting. According to a large number of comments that I've received personally and comments I've seen online, a lot of people really expected Starfield to be like Fallout in space. Some were even claiming it was advertised as such by Bethesda, however, I've seen no evidence of this. Now, due to all of the articles by so-called credible sources stating the game was obviously going to be either Skyrim in space or Fallout in space, I don't fault people for being sold on this idea because it was repeated so many times by so many people. But imagine how long it would have taken to design so many encounters in a game that dwarfs the size of Skyrim and Fallout, games that are huge in their own right. Starfield has an insane number of side quests, many of which depends on the player to discover them. They're not easy to encounter. Starfield side quests have a number of possible results as well. For example, the mystery ship encounter with Juno, which is also based on a NASA space probe by the way, has at least 5 different endings, and those are just the ones I know of. So look guys, we're gonna go ahead and end it there. I just wanted to touch on it because I have been noticing a lot of people bringing up Fallout and Skyrim and all of that. Look, if you love Fallout and Skyrim, I love those 2 games as well. But as a person who has played all of these games, I can tell you this game is nothing like those games. Yes, it shares some design resemblances. Many do. For example, procedural generation. Games like The Witcher and No Man's Sky and all these games, they also use procedural generation. So funny how these talking points disappear and then they come back. Because you can remember people was talking about procedural generation before, but I think people found out that that's actually not uncommon for great games to use procedural generation. So they stopped talking about it, but now it's popping back up again. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and leave it right there. As usual, look, if you disagree with me, I have no problem with that. You want to go down in the comment section and disagree with me. I already know there's probably going to be a lot of people telling me that they don't like the game. Just want to let you know, so far, most of the people who are writing long, statements about why they don't like the game, just letting you know that they pretty much are the same things. So just letting you know that pretty much if you write it, I just don't want you to waste your time. You're probably already repeating something that I've already heard. Okay. All right, guys. Look, either way, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as usual, stay safe.